Hello, team, and welcome to part 2 of our class on those three little words in, on, and at. In episode 9, we talked about these words in relation to time. We are in 2023. Our class is on Mondays at 10 a.m. But today we are going to be talking about the same words in relation to place. And for geography, it's pretty straightforward. There is a method to do this, and it's a reason I've been going like this with these nonverbals. But we are going to keep practicing. We have a couple more activities to see to make sure that you get your ins, ons, and ats perfect. So, start us off. Where did you go this weekend? Try to use an in, an on, and an at if possible. I have an example right here. We went to Serra do Cipó this weekend. We walked on a trail for 10 minutes and arrived at the waterfall, and then we stayed in the city overnight. How about you? What did you do this weekend? So I want you to take a look at this little table here on the corner because it's a good reference. Whenever you see the word in, I want you to think of something inside something bigger. I think it's the most straightforward. It's the easiest to grasp, to understand. I can say that I am in Belo Horizonte. I am in this room. The example in the story, you're in the forest. Or if you're talking about a specific street, specific floor, you can say that you're on 49th Street. I am on the 3rd floor. You can be on a path. With at, it's the most specific. Doesn't matter the size of the thing you're talking about. You're shrinking it into a small little point. So you are at 49th Street. You can say that you are at the office. You could also say you are in the office, and the listener's understanding will be that you are inside something bigger. Or you can say that you are at the office. It's a little bit more common because you are on that point. Imagine Google Maps. Now, if you take a look at the right here, you will notice that I put in the lake, on the lake, and at the lake. Can you explain this? How can I use all three of these? Well, I'll give you a second to think. But the way that I would understand this, if you are in the lake, maybe you're swimming. If you are on the lake, you actually have a couple options. You could be on a boat. You could be around, you have a house on the lake, right next to the lake. Or maybe do like Jesus and you can walk on the lake. If you are at the lake, even though it can be a big, huge lake, you're treating it like a point. Maybe you call your friend and say, oh, hey, João, let's meet at the lake at that point. So it's a little story. Lily's Waterfall Wonderland. Whenever you see Lily, know that I made the story for my daughter. She doesn't like when I use her name, so I've switched it for Lily. So it's a little story. Fill it with your ins, ons, and ats. Right here, it's a more abstract activity where I want you just to talk and try to include your ins, your ons, and your ats where possible. You do not have to include them in all of these examples. And of course, think about your own examples. They're always the best. Much more fun with a part. Now let's take a look at these conversation starters. Let me pick a good one. I'll pick number 6 because I think it's a good one to practice. I work in education inside that area. In education, there are many different options. I am a private English teacher, but I work in education. Where do I work at? I guess you could say I work at the Gringo Minute, but I work at home. Would also be appropriate. What am I working on? I'm working on creating this PDF for you to guarantee your English success. I am also working on an IELTS course for some students who want to take this. And last up, your challenge. Remember, these classes, they're not an instant download. You're not officially an in, on, and at master yet. But it does serve as kind of, I like to think of it like glasses. It makes it easier for you to see these topics, these little words that you might ignore while you're watching a series, while you're reading an article. So this week, I want you to do the opposite. I want you focusing, lasering in on these prepositions. So pay attention to wherever you see in, wherever you see on, or wherever you see at. And the best ones are the examples that you may not be able to explain. Last up, I included these for transportation. I think this is an interesting one. But team, Thank you, and I hope to see you in class.